What's up, guys? I wanted to touch on this subject that I saw today. A popular channel by the name of Geeks and Gamers that focuses on critiquing and giving discussion on the woke narrative in movies, TVs, games, you name it. Basically, nerd culture, mainstream media, very similar to the type of content that I've shifted over to starting in January. In fact, Geeks and Gamers is an inspiration for the type of content that I've started doing with this whole anti-woke movement and all this stuff. You know, the stuff that you guys call me a wannabe quartering about, right? They're all part of my inspiration. Melanie Mac, Quartering, Drunk 3PO, Geeks and Gamers, Vera Dark, those types of channels. Well, today they got demonetized. You can see they put on a community post that YouTube hit the channel with a community guidelines warning on an unlisted video from 2019, and they are officially demonetized, which is a sad situation. Now, we all know how YouTube is with its guidelines and everything, and they lean a little bit more towards the lefty, wokey side of things, you know, the safe spaces, the you can't say anything that's labeled as hate speech, you know, that type of crap. Now, they did go on to say that it said that it had no impact on the channel, but now the entire channel is demonetized, and that they feel this is a glitch and that it will be fixed, but they have no idea how long it will take. Not sure if it's been fixed as of this moment. I personally haven't checked, but if this is happening because of, I guess, delayed community guidelines, that's something to be worried about, especially because it was an unlisted video from 2019. I have a lot of content that's unlisted from back in the day as well. Now it's like, shit, at any time, could anything that we have unlisted that goes against community guidelines, whether it's left-leaning or right-leaning or whatever, even if it's not political, if it's anything that could randomly be deemed community guidelines, could it possibly cause a channel to be demonetized, terminated, or any kind of other issue that could happen? And that's honestly the concern about why I want to talk about it. But also the concern I want to talk about is, again, Geeks and Gamers, a pretty popular channel that focuses on discussing and critiquing various aspects of geek culture. It's something that's been a little bit more prominent across the board with YouTube, especially these day and age when we have, you know, Star Wars and Disney becoming woke and just all sorts of other types of, I guess, narratives being pushed out and shoved through people's throats as of late. I personally like Geeks and Gamers. I really watch their content a lot. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? They covered a topic that I'm interested to talk about a little bit more. And again, this guideline strike is stemming from something from 2019. This incident raises important questions about the state of free speech, for one. That seems like it's a never-ending battle when you say something that comes from your own individual point of view. It gets quickly labeled into hatred when you're a content creator that's challenging and covering topics that are perceived as anti-woke or that lean more right. Like, it's a thing where the intolerant, tolerant like to attack that and say, oh, you're a bigot and blah, blah, blah. I've been getting it a lot, actually, since I swifted over the content into January. I get the, what happened? You used to be a fun-loving video game content creator, even though I still am talking about the same topics. I've talked about video games, Star Wars, Marvel, stuff that I've always covered. But this time, I'm calling out talking points. I'm calling out the controversies between stuff like the Hogwarts Legacy boycott. I'm calling stuff out about the Call of Duty Nick Merck situation, stuff that I'm seeing in, you know, Marvel movies that I don't like Miss Marvel itself. I called a little bit of stuff out on that, how it's cringe. You know, Geeks and Gamers have considered a huge, like, they're considered a huge right-wing following type of channel, that content. And I've had people in the past say, dude, what happened? You've become like Geeks and Gamers and Quartering and stuff, and you guys are just spewing negativity and yada. It's always negative when it's something that they don't agree, right? But if it's like attacking Republicans or right-wings or Trump supporters or Christians, it's always fine. Like, you're okay to be negative on that aspect, right? Like, Melanie Mac makes a video laughing at how ironic a church got struck down by lightning is after they were celebrating Pride Month. and it turned into her celebrating people getting hurt, even though nobody was hurt inside. Nobody was inside that freaking building when it was on fire and got struck. And she was laughing at the whole irony of the situation of a church announcing a pride event getting struck down by lightning, and people twist it and turn it into other things. And there's all sorts of aspects. It's always a microscope when it comes to something that these people don't like. It can never be a discussion both ways. It has to be insults that go personal and things like that. And, it's often at times these channels get canceled, demonetized, shadow banned, you name it. Like, it's always, if you guys don't see it, Twitter used to be the same way until Elon Musk took over. There used to be some kind of like banning, like a silent shadow banning, a blacklisting of content like that. And Geeks and Gamers coverage often touches on issues that challenge that prevailing narrative. So maybe that's why a video that's unlisted from 2019 got a community guideline strike. These touch on the influence of identity politics and what is known as the woke agenda, even though there's people in the comments, even in my comments, they refuse to see that identity politics is a big part of a woke agenda, and it's prevalent in the entertainment industry, guys. Everything that's in the entertainment industry is being influenced by a woke agenda. And you can cringe at the word, oh, why do people say woke? That's not what woke means, and blah, blah, blah. You can cringe at it all you fucking want. It's fucking facts, all right? Now, I appreciate this refreshing perspective from content creators like Geeks and Gamers, and I like when channels face, I guess, scrutiny, when they're going against the grain. I very much admire that, when people have the balls to go against whatever the prevailing narrative is, like I said, and expressing views that go against the mainstream. And that's part of why I was inspired to start doing this. And I personally have not been hateful at all when it comes to this, even though there's been people in the comments that like to kind of, I guess, go a little bit below the belt and call you fat and ugly and yada, yada, yada. So there's definitely an ongoing tension between free speech and content moderation on the internet, especially on YouTube. Sorry, I'm hiccuping my hot and spicy McChicken, by the way. I think community guidelines are essential for making sure that content quality is up to par. Like we obviously don't want people getting beheaded or sexually assaulted or anything like that on the internet, right? But sometimes it gets a little bit much. It gets a little bit arbitrary or biased against certain sides, especially if you're leaning to the right. You get a little biased against you. And I think that raises concerns about potential suppression of your content. Like is Geeks and Gamers content being suppressed now, and that's why I had a glitch of the demonetization? Is it because they voice against the prevailing opinion or ideas that these lefties and wokies put out into the mainstream media? Who knows? But it is important to remember that this isn't an isolated case. Geeks and Gamers is not the only right-leaning content creator that has ever had their content striked for guidelines. Think about people like Crowder and Tucker Carlson, who just got fired from Fox News. There's other channels that lean right or question the narrative, and they face similar, if not worse, experiences or repercussions that include demonetization, even removal from platforms as a fucking whole. And it's kind of like a weird pattern of action against it that, to me personally, I don't know about you guys, raises concerns about the people that want diversity. They want inclusion and diverse and all this and that, but they want an echo chamber as well. They don't want people that have different thoughts and opinions and stuff. And I think being able to distinguish between hate speech and dissenting opinions is something that needs to be worked on by people. I feel that thinking a channel like Geeks and Gamers or even myself, or a Melanie Mac, or a Camelot, or a Side Scrollers podcast, or a Drunk 3PO, thinking that any of them promote hate speech and intolerance is a little biased against them. I feel that they all promote a alternative viewpoint. I feel that there's healthy dissent with what they're bringing out there. And I think it's crucial to distinguish the difference, honestly, between genuine hate speech and dissenting opinions. And I feel that that gets lost into translation, especially in this cancel culture age where the squeaky wheel squeaks the loudest, and these people use social media to try to attack people that lean towards the right and stuff like that. And honestly, that's kind of like why I shifted towards this content, because it gets tiresome. Having a finger pointing at you just because you have a dissenting opinion and getting labeled as something. Like, don't you fucking label me. I will label myself, right? I think that it's just simply expressing your perspective, and there's nothing wrong with that. I feel that's one curse of social media, that being able to express your opinion has made people feel like they're entitled to saying that you're wrong. And they have every right to say that as well. But you're not going to fucking try to deplatform people just because they have a dissenting opinion every time you get a little fucking rash in your diaper, all right? I feel that this situation does raise questions of the limits of free speech and the need for social media platforms to foster environments that can and will allow diverse opinions. Hopefully this was just a glitch with YouTube, with Geeks and Gamers, and not suppression, because I don't want YouTube to suppress channels. I want them to revisit and take a look at their community guidelines, especially if it's a video that's unlisted from 2019. There's no reason for that. I think you need to find a way that would be beneficial for free speech as a whole, and not weaponize your community guidelines. Like, if your community guidelines feel weaponized, that's not safe. And it goes both ways. Like, I wouldn't want wokies and lefties being suppressed for their viewpoints. I feel that being able to criticize the mainstream narrative is super important, but you do have to at least acknowledge genuine hate speech and harmful content and strike those properly according. You know what I mean? There has to be a healthy balance that encourages debates, diversity, real diversity, like I said, and that'll allow dissenting voices to not be fearful of unjust repercussions. And that's why I wanted to bring that to attention. So yeah, hopefully this gets resolved again. I saw this probably like within the last half hour or so, and I wanted to talk about it because they're a channel that I keep tabs with, so I hope everything worked out for them. Let me know your thoughts down below, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching, and if I don't have a video out, happy 4th of July. See ya.